Now, Enra. Now, the person make us ask him, Kofi Amabua, Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Se Ghana for na ha de pass kronwa doso. Ne yetimi nche kronfo bia na chese ye dunu ye ho ne yesere. Ye dunu ye ho na yesere because ye se kronwa doso. Na amanfo bo kronwa na amanfo bo kronwa yetimi nche kronfo ba ku sempo. Whatever you came to do at the press conference yesterday, to me, do not hold any water. No, you are so beard so. To me, who said something now in the Why did you cry? For what? Because they are laid down procedures. They are laid down rules and regulations. They are laid down every single thing that you need to go through to make sure say. Even if there's a need for amendments, you take it to the floor of Parliament, the procedures will have to follow. Now, if you're much more amending, Brano. But for you to watch a simple documentary and start sharing tears, crocodile tears. Boy. I said I didn't tell any. And when you feel anything. Because it's an open secret. Our God had to say, yes, sir, I say, your forest reserves, I say. And of course, Ghana for United, that's just say. A time came, and when the Catholic Bishop Conference, I think that was June. I think that was June, around June. Catholic Bishop Conference, I went to the National Conference Center. His Excellency Nana Kufuado stood on the podium and said, say, as at the time, Okasano, Akonta Mines was not involved in the illegal mining. Memoir. As at that time, and Okasano, Akonta Mines was not involved in any illegal activity. So before that time, what was Akonta Mines doing? The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, led by Mujinapo, wrote a letter and there was a counter letter to it. So Akonta Mines was involved in an illegal activity, illegal mining. But the President of the Republic of Ghana said, as at that time. So who brought on, who were your friend that investigated that issue? When the President had said, as at that time, he wasn't interested or he wasn't engaged in any illegalities. Also, yes, institution, but don't check it today. Okay, investigate today. What are you going to investigate? Because the president of the land, who has the sole responsibility to also make sure, say, and running the until the mayor, or do not say, Akonta Mines wasn't involved in the illegality. It's all your right. Who put this CID? Seven brothers, and young Samuel Naonim. Yeah? We don't want to see what we saw yesterday. Honorable Kofi Amabua, please, with all due respect to you, with the greatest of humility to your office, we do not want to see what we saw yesterday, if indeed you were sharing tears. That to me is a crocodile tear. And I could that be true, and I don't because I don't know will not prove anything to Ghanaians. I don't know will not add any volume to Ghanaians. I don't know will not bring our lands back. But if so be your body, no, I am body the tear nature. I am body the tear so dear say. I am body the tear gather and brand new horrible. And because we are yes, and I am Bobby's son. I am Bobby's son. That a month one day be a do tell me that as a more that a man or quite the thing that the call who say ya, the thing that the call say ya, not that I'm saying ya. No, come on, your first Abu. Your first Abu. The reality still holds that if some running the honorable, that's someone putting all the legal procedures. Number say Akonta Mines, I Aqua say forest reserves. I don't need to be krata. What was I saying? Now listen to this. Here, as of 2022, there was a letter at the Minerals Commission at the Akonta Mines. And it indicates solely, say, Emra, I friend Emra, Omaniso. And I would just want you to publish that particular letter for me. Now, I cannot for you now who say that is exactly the truth we are talking about. It is not about some fallacious comments and I say be a fallacy be and I say yeah bosrebo kebi and I yeah juma. No. When the Mineral Commission speaks, it speaks a lot of volume. It says that something that is factual. Because the Minerals Commission is a state-owned institution that ever said them away to be cost a year. Now, the Mineral Commission says in 2022 said none of the above lease. Now listen to me carefully. Very, very carefully. What did I wish to say you publish this particular letter? Oh, we are the about our video. The Mineral Commission says that none of the above leases, so there were previous ones are attached to this very particular letter, yet to become because of time. Falls within the Tano Nimri Forest reserves or any forest reserves for that matter. Thank you very much. That's it. Now, it goes on to say, the letter from the Forestry Commissions and its Minerals Commission dated 8 August 2022 and 7 September 2022, which are being circulated alongside the lease granted in 2021, have no bearing on the above set out leases. As indicated by the ministry's press conference or press statement, dated 10th September 2022, Akonta Mines TA. And this is the point of order. So you do not go there and cry to Ghanaians as if say, some brothers I say, yeah, baby said they were horrible. As indicated by the ministry's press statement, dated on the 10th of September 2022, Akonta Mines has a pending application dated 25th August 2022 for a mining lease over an area within the Tano Nimri Forest reserves. That application has not been determined by the minister, who is mandated by law to grant or refuse such application. And for the avoidance of doubt, Akonta Mines has no mining lease, mineral rights, and or permit to undertake any mining operations in the Tano Nimri Forest reserves. And steps are currently being undertaken to enforce the minister's directive issued on the 30th of September 2022. So what are you people talking about? If indeed this letter is coming from the Minerals Commission, then what are you talking about? Hey, Chairman, please. Chairman, Ghana is a very serious business entity. Ghana is a very serious business. Hey, Chairman, please, with the greatest of respect to you, this is not what we want. Take action, because you see, your sons say, your forest reserves are saying, yes, what say, when there. That's a there was a ocean documentary. Now the documentary is the meaning and also taking advantage of our system. You sit there and you cry to Ghanaians and say, what? Said maybe Ghana. No! Mamambra Enyejuma. If indeed Akonta Mines are violating the laws of our land, you know the owner of Akonta Mines, who is about to me, wouldn't know. No for the public so. And this also there. Stop sharing crocodile tears. Or perhaps you are trying to tell me, say, and some of your crab was so horrible, and some of you do share was that. Yeah? Now, okay, Ghana Constitution in our home. It is the president, and I did Ghana, your minerals laws, your dear sentence, as a good year was Suase. I was slow, I was so, and assassin, but be beer. You find a natural mineral resource. It is vested in the hands of the president in trust of Ghanaians. And the president has the sole obligation to appoint somebody to also take charge of that very particular ministry. It is the president, by virtue of the power, to be a God of what the amano. No, be ye honorable Kofi Amabu say, Brabeye Bibia, make catch me some press conference as in a Usu. Usu says, some brothers, oh, my Munia, and I was in the U. Mama Ghana 13 years because in the abundance of water, the fool will be thirsty. In Suacha and Westia, tell me, just give me one typical example of Usua, Echa and Westia, Papa. But those days, we could go to the riverside, yet the example so the one near Sania, no, because who near what I was when I say. But then there, what else I didn't be? Just because of mining activities. Meme ne mabusia yet me kokra suo e ma menum ye ne sika de ba kra suo de aba menum but dem bia wo ne mabusia de sika na mo won nti nsuo kra enye mo na. It does not mean so you should subject Ghanaians to that level of poverty when you know the root cause of the issue. So what ma de na men ya to say the seven brothers as a ye dada ye hu bi asade no ye ni by pese kata so ye kata so momuaso suban bi na se be tie nche as no Ghanaians do not want that. Second sankwa dia na ka Ghana for enkoto santre se ekwa akoto aba eyoma mpahini ene nemra hye bedwamufo. Because Ghana for to something, not for anything, but for change and for good governance. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, with the greatest of respect to you, you know Ghanaians love you so much. You've become an angel to the entire Ghanaian population. Very soon, Uber 120 days promise. Which of course we know say you've executed more than almost all the promises you made. But the truth is that, hey, action that needs to be taken by your office has not been taken. But this time, some brother say, Nanka, say, Dabio, Tobo, Tie, Nanka, Otiwabo say, my invited Kedoforiata say, Omra na misa no questions. Na Kedoforiata say, Oyeda da Benti, or say, Oyarinti, time or pay, and or the Magana. Jesus Christ. Say, or say, or no, or diarim paso, and say, Otimi ma, into no time or pay, and what the best Ghana for say, any time we draw, member, Nama make myself available for any interrogation. Meanwhile, one ready before the Marco court, Bradina copy. Hey, what can you say? Very simple logic. What can you say? I been quiet. You know the same cracker. I be fault him. I been quiet. You know the same cracker because on try. I be fault him. And I saw who say, Owaba. You didn't need to go because of cower and the same poison and the opposite. Ghana do not have the luxury of time to be waiting for these gimmicks. That be, and I said the Kwakwati way, I said, you know, I said the Kwakwat, I said for them call, I said, no, Ghanaians do not want that. Ghana for your pressure. Even the NPP people, I even asked why some of their people are still in government, are still heading institutions. How much more the NDC. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Every before the BBC class said, I don't think the FDA. Omuni pada sotio. I don't VRA. Omuni pada sotio. I don't the Ghana Airport Authority. I don't omuni pada sotio. I don't the various institutions. Omuni pada sotio no. Whilst you have the competent people to manage the affairs of your own institutions, they asking them. So even if the NPP are asking you as a government, in power, what is preventing you? Meanwhile, competent people who also contributed to the success of your campaign, to the success of your to this election, are still marking time at home, not getting the work to do. Yeah, do some of the air coffee. Do some of the air coffee. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, have you asked yourself why? It don't tell me, can you make me a so the 8 minutes at a certain point in time? I am not saying you say Engineer Samoa is a bad CEO, but maybe he did not share your same ideology. I know Engineer Samoa when he was in the Ashanti region, very fantastic man, very fantastic engineer. Now he is the head of ECG. But the fact is that nipa a person making sure say what to be a year no say nipa kro no bro. Don't you have the man? Don't you have engineers within your own party? His Excellency, don't you have the men or engineers within your own party? When you go to VRA, don't you have competent people who are well qualified and experienced enough to head VRA? So the moment they do like to pay, yes, is that what you want? Is that what you want? See a double light to pay, say, hey, Mahama Sabe. Hey, Mahama Sabe, hey, please, with all due respect to you, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ghanaians do not vote for you to come and do this kind of way. No, that be. Ghana for say, yeah, one call for horrible one by one, and by to be about power. Almost one qualification, almost one competent well enough. I bet to be ahead of every institution. Please allow them and give them that opportunity to work. That always said some of them. Our appointees may have started here and their hand tie and was on the idea was later. Later, Becca was him. Because some of your appointees in the bureau were Jana Dosso Dodo, Ahomaswana Dosso Dodo, but the idea Becca was him later. Later, Becca was him. The truth still remains. Sir, yeah, Mamua. You first some a kofua. I want to work as our concepts. The ideology. Any idea power or person the pushing Ghana. There is algo for the boy mine. Hey, now for us if one does almost to no. And we have other lists. I mean, we are going to publish them very soon. Your own people are not getting job to do. Now, you see, the effect is that you have subjected some of your own people to ridicule. Because they know the community in which they live in, the society in which they live in, and the past of when we end this before, they contributed so hard, they sacrificed their lives and they are competent enough. But see, I'm in the position here. It's about to be peer. I'm going to say, hey, now one party pony. Or party in a position. Come on, I don't want to mention names. You can't say body brain. But the interest is that if your people are well competent enough, if they are well experienced enough, allow them to also work.